Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Michele, and we are the owners of the Main Street Mouse.
This is Main Street Mouse Weekly Podcast, show number 195 for July 21st, 2025.
For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving. And supervise your children.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Dead men tell no tale.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you. But may I just say, I...
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Here we go.
Hello, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It is another Monday.
Yes, it is.
It's a Monday.
It's one of
I
those.
never realized that. Monday's probably the most despised day of the week. That's what the week we do our show.
Right? Okay, so we're doing a good thing then if, everybody hates Monday, but our podcast comes out. So if you listen to it, then maybe
Hopefully they like it.
hopefully they like it, or they just listen to rip on us, which, whatever.
Hey, whatever gets a listener. So we hope you're all doing well out there. It is extremely hot here in Florida.
We have heat advisories up to 112 degrees. It's crazy.
It has been so hot. We get in the car and the temperature on the car has been over 100 degrees.
Yeah, for sure. And then going to the parks is almost insufferable.
It really is.
It really is.
You're almost wanting it to rain while you're there just to kind of hopefully cool it down a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So the last week, we had a very busy weekend, but before that, on Wednesday, we did go over to the studios. We did over to Disney's Hollywood Studios because we had heard that the BDX droids had made their long-awaited debut to Batuu, Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. But before we saw them, actually, we walked over and we saw kind of what the Monsters, Inc. area. It's all boarded up, but they've got signs and such, and kind of a map.
Yeah, what do you call that? Concept art.
Concept art on the wall to where you can see, and you can tell certain things have happened. So, like the Muppets 3D.
The sign is gone. Yeah.
And the sign that's still there, you can see in the artist rendering that's still going to be there, but it's going to be for monsters.
Yeah, so it seems like Pizza Rizzo and the 3D building are going to still remain, but they're going to be used for other things. It seems like they're going to use everything that's there from the diagram, but just add more behind it.
Right, because they're taking out so the employee parking lot was kind of behind there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever taken a look, Hollywood Studios has a humongous parking lot
way
on that
big
side behind where Indiana Jones is, where they parked.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they're losing a lot of that parking lot for monsters, from what I understand.
Well, one thing for me is it's nice to see that they're going to keep those buildings. Even where the Christmas store is and such, it looks like there was shops going in back there. So, so kind of like same look, just different theme.
I'll be curious to see what they use as kind of like the nod from Muppets to... Because how you have Mr. Toad inside the Winnie the Pooh ride, little things like that. So you see those when a ride gets replaced or a section gets replaced. So I wonder if it'll be like Kermit, maybe handing something off to Mike and Sully. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I'm sure they will do something somewhere. You'll have to find it. It'll be hidden Easter egg.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Definitely. So we walked around there. We did make our way over to Galaxy's Edge.
We did.
'Cause we wanted to go see the droids, which are freaking awesome.
They're so cute. Oh my gosh.
I want one of those so
Oh
bad.
my gosh. So the one that we were watching dances and shakes his little robot butt.
They do.
And they jump.
They do.
They jump.
They make noises and such.
Oh my god.
So I did see one of the operators.
Yeah, I saw two actually.
And I saw it looks to me like a big Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Is the controller to control these, and there was three of them, and there was three controllers around. But they're actually really entertaining. So the show we walked up on was Chewbacca is kind of working on the bottom of the Millennium Falcon, and the droids are kind of telling him what to do.
Yeah, they're just really, really cute. We had seen these back at D23. They kind of gave a preview of what these droids looked like and how they were going to operate. But it was in a very small area in the Imagineering Pavilion thing. Right. So to see them actually in action as opposed to just being a preview.
Right.
They're like, okay, now I see like what they were going to do with them.
And it really does look like something out of the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing droids working with Chewbacca to try to fix the Falcon.
Did I mention they dance and jump?
They dance and jump. They have a good old time.
Oh my God.
You need them on Tatooine with the Cantina band.
They're just adorable. And it's so funny because you know that it's somebody, a cast member making this robot do what it does, but they're just so cute. And their movements are very seamless and smooth.
They are, yep.
Like when they turn their heads, when they jump, when they dance, whatever. It's not jerky. It's very smooth.
Right. I remember as a kid having different remote control cars and such, and they were very. If it stopped, it was like sudden. If it took
Kinda
off
choppy.
again, yeah, it was choppy. It was never a smooth transition. These are very smooth when they move from one thing to another, or they're walking across the area.
Yeah, they just walk right across. It's so cute.
So it did start to rain while we were watching them, and they have to get them backstage as quickly as possible. And I guess they do have covers for them as well. But it was funny, as it started to rain, you saw them all kind of line up, and they were just walking to the back area. They walk through the crowd, and then they go to a back door, and they walk through their door, and that's where they're.
Oh my God, so cute.
Stay. So there's 3 areas we were told where the shows are. And if you ask a cast member in Batuu, they'll be able to tell you where the show is. But there's another one that's kind of in front of where the land speeders are and such, where they work on that, where the Chewbacca and Rey show was a lot, and the Stormtroopers are always, or First Order troopers over there.
Yeah.
Then in front of the Falcons, the one we saw. I'm not sure where the third one is, though. They didn't really tell us.
I don't know. I honestly, I only had heard of the 2, so I don't know.
Yeah, I heard there's 3, but I could be wrong. But yeah, if you're over at the Hollywood Studios, make sure you take the time to go over there and find them.
Yeah, they're have I mentioned how cute they are?
I think you've said once or twice they're a little bit cute.
They're so
I want to try to find the files to print the parts to make one of them.
Oh, sure.
And put a Raspberry Pi in it to run it as a robot.
People aren't going to know what you're talking about.
I do. There's a few people I'm sure that are listening to this going, oh, that would be a good idea.
Or there are some people saying, I really want Pi now.
Pi is always good.
But he's talking. It's a computer.
The Raspberry
thing.
Pi is a small computer device that you can use for something like a robot.
But whenever he says it, I want dessert.
And you're not even a big pie fan.
Not really. It depends.
Especially raspberry
what it is.
pie.
I like raspberries. If it was raspberry cheesecake pie, I would eat that.
There you go.
Cheesecake makes everything better.
There's that one pie I think Sam's Club has with all the different berries in it. Blackberries, raspberries, strawberries.
Yeah, that's not bad. And you throw some ice cream on there.
That's all you need. Scoop of vanilla. You're good to go.
See how we turned it into food? Okay, so
let's bring it right back.
I'm very hungry right now. So just keep that in mind if I mention food at all.
Are you hungry?
I am.
Okay. So Friday and Sunday, as we alluded to last week, we were going to be very busy because Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away was debuting on the 20th on Sunday. However, we had heard that it was maybe going to be a sneak peek on Friday, depending on weather.
Yes, depending on weather, but the streets were talking, and we didn't want to miss out. Heck no.
So we got ready. We got over to the studios, and we got a spot at like 4.5 hours before.
Yeah, you had to stake your spot on Main Street.
Yes, so we got over to the park. We got our spot. We never really left Main Street the whole night.
We didn't. We didn't go wandering anywhere. We were by a trash can across from the bakery.
And in front of the doors of the Emporium where we felt some air conditioning coming out,
Some air
which
conditioning
was needed.
Now, all right, sidebar already. So Florida, and I think I've mentioned it previously since we've been doing this for so many years, but Florida summers are 2 shower days. You take a shower and get ready to go out to where you're going. Mostly when it's a theme park.
Yes.
You are all nasty by the time you even hit the gates because it is just so hot.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting there. Okay, we find our spot. We're standing there. I'm sweating. And then we sit on the curb and my knees were sweating. I was like, this is the most disgusting thing. It was that hot. Things that normally don't sweat, I had knee sweat.
Right.
That's gross. So I was dabbing myself with napkins and, you got some food. But we were not going to move from that spot because, it was 50-50. as to is it happening, is it not?
And it was crazy that a lot of the cast members who were walking past us or coming up in that area, they did not. I was talking to the one guy who's emptying the garbage cans on Main Street. He had no clue that it was debuting that night. He was told Sunday, because he told me, he goes, normally I'm scheduled till like midnight. He said I'm scheduled till 2 a.m. on Sunday night, just because of they were expecting such a large crowd. So he didn't know anything about it, because when he came back later in the evening and they had announced it at that point, he goes, how did you guys know?
Ah.
So
we don't divulge our secrets.
Can't divulge those secrets.
Nope.
But so they kept the word really quiet because they didn't want cast members to tell somebody and then somebody tell somebody else, and then all of a sudden you got 10,000 people coming to the park to see the parade. But they were smart. Disney shut off possibility for reservations or anybody being able to get something if you didn't already have it that day.
Yeah. So the crowds weren't bad because it was almost like a pop-up parade.
Right, and nobody knew. So at 7:00, we had been given word that we weren't allowed to say anything about where we were till 7:00. And then at 7:00 they made the announcement that you're all in for a special treat.
Yeah, like surprise, we're running the parade 2 days early, and that was really cool to hear because people started cheering because a lot of people had no idea it was happening.
Idea. And a lot of people walked past us, and I heard them talking to the people who were next to me, who were cast members actually, sitting on the ground waiting. And they were like, "What are you waiting for?" And they just kept saying, "Oh, we're just taking a break, or we're waiting for fireworks." And it's like, okay, it's 4.5 hours till fireworks, but it's like, okay, yeah, we can just sit here and wait. But yeah, they made the announcement at 7. They made the announcement at 8:00. Then the parade kicked off. It was a little bit late because some bad weather had come into the area right around 9:00.
Yeah, if they see any lightning, they don't do what they're gonna do.
Right. And I don't want to get into too much of the parade yet because that's going to be our discussion today. Michele and I are going to break it down for you guys, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we think needs to be improved. And so we're going to save that for our discussion later in the show because we have a lot to say about this parade.
Yes, we do.
So we went Friday. We saw it once because they only played once Friday night. We went back on Saturday night because we were told it should be another rehearsal on Saturday. So we went Saturday. We watched. So first night was on Main Street, USA, across from the bakery, like you said. Second night we went and we ended up setting up right outside of Pecos Bills.
Yes, on the almost like on the porch of Pecos Bills, right there,
which I thought was actually a pretty good spot.
I'm all about scenery, and it was a good spot to sit and wait. But I like it better when. See, now I'm okay. I'm gonna say something. I'm disappointed that we did not see it by the castle. I wanted float pictures with the castle in the background. So next time we go see it, I don't care who we're with. I don't care who vetoes me. I'm going to the castle. I'm going there.
So last night, as she said, we watched it by Pecos Bills. Then we went Rotianas because we were all dying of heat. We were with our friends Greg and Holly, so we all went in Rotianas.
Oh my gosh!
Got a little wet, cooled off a little bit. Holly saw a dinosaur. Then we got off that ride and we decided we're gonna go up and watch it near Tony's on Main Street there.
Spot number 3.
Spot number 3 because we wanted to see, and that would be the first time we'd seen the parade that side of it. Because the first 2 times we'd seen the same side of the parade. Now we were going to see it on the opposite side. Because we had heard about the Tangled Lantern gets raised, Snow White has a red gem, little things that we didn't see from where we were the first 2 times. So we finally did get to see those.
Right, and we'll explain partially why you can't see in a little bit.
Yes, that's coming up. So that was Saturday night. We got out of there, got home. And then
we
Sunday.
Were hot. Oh my God.
So Sunday is kickoff day. It's debuting. This is the official release of the parade.
Even though we saw it 3 times.
Saw it 3 times at this point, but we're like, okay, this is it. And all day long, I hem and hawed. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I want to deal with the heat. I don't know if I want to deal with the crowd. But I wanted to go because I wanted to get the crowd pictures. I want to get the merchandise pictures. But I was like, oh, do I really want to do this? So then I was talking to Greg, and Greg's like, I don't know if I want to do it either. But we were both kind of on the fence. Like, you know what? Let's just go. So Greg and I ran over there. You and Holly stayed here out of the heat. Smart move. Greg and I got there and we were shocked. There was probably 10 times the amount of people in the park yesterday than there was the 2 days prior.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It was packed from the minute you walked in all the way through the hub. And I'm sure we didn't go past the hub. We stayed in that area. That was as far as we went. But the crowds were just incredible. And they were 3 and 4 deep. sitting on Main Street at the same time we were there the other day where it was just us deep.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's on blankets. Everybody's on towels. They're just sitting there and they're just waiting. They're camped out. The ride wait times we checked them were all low because everybody was just sitting waiting for this parade.
Well, when they announced that the new parade was coming quite a while ago, I'm sure a lot of people put reservations in for that day.
And that's what I'm going to comment on too real quick. So for pass holders, we normally have to have a reservation, or anybody has to have a reservation to get in the park. But right now, even if you're park hopping, you have to have a reservation for the Magic Kingdom to be able to get there, no matter what time of day it is.
And that's due to the crowds for the parade, I'm guessing.
Yes. So it's something in the MDE app. So when you bring up the MDE app, there should be a disclaimer that pops up and says, currently you need a reservation for Magic Kingdom no matter what time of day. So you can't just be at Epcot and say, you know what, let's go hop over to Magic Kingdom. It doesn't work that easy. You got to try to get a reservation to hop over to Magic Kingdom now.
I hate these reservation things.
Which, if you really think about it, it's kind of inconvenient.
A little bit.
Because if you're here on your vacation, say you go to Magic Kingdom during the day, and then you say, I'm going to go to Epcot in the evening. Oh, wait, the parade's going on. I'm going to head back over there. It's not that easy. I mean, I don't know how that reservation thing works. I guess we'd have to look more into it. But there is something about the reservation. I just want to make everybody aware who's listening. Don't just assume you can get into the park.
Yeah, make a reservation.
Make the reservation.
Just err on the side of caution because they changed things with this new parade. And I just wish they get rid of the reservation system.
It's got to go. Nobody else uses it but Disney still.
No, and this is so, we're way, way, way past the shutdowns. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I don't think this has anything to do. I think this has to do with staffing. I honestly think because if they know there's not going to be a lot of people at Epcot, we don't need as much staff.
Well, I still think it's crap.
Oh, I agree.
I mean,
totally crap.
But then again, don't get me started because I liked a lot of things better before the shutdown. So there's that.
Oh, definitely. It was so much better, so much easier.
Everything was easy peasy. Now everything is so difficult and everything has to be on a schedule and all those things. And yeah, okay, anyway.
That's for another show.
That's for another show.
Which we will do that at another show. Okay, so that was our weekend. It was mostly focused around Starlight. And like I said, we're going to talk about
we were like at Magic Kingdom all weekend.
And then studios on Wednesday. Thursday, we kind of knew what was coming up for the weekend, so we started resting, but we didn't realize we'd be there Friday, too.
No, and it's one of those things that, we know it's coming. And I had thought Saturday for a soft opening, and then I was kind of told it was going to be Friday, and I told you, I'm like, we need to go if that's what.
I grabbed us a reservation as fast as I could just to make sure we could get in.
And I was saying that it was the worst kept secret because there was a lot of people there that knew the parade was coming.
And it was funny because some of the cast members, some more of the managerial cast members were walking up the street and go, oh, what are y'all doing here?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, we're here to maybe see some stars in the nighttime sky. Mm-hmm. And they would just smile and keep walking. So it was like, that was kind of our confirmation that something was happening.
Yeah, that lady was really like, she tried to play it off, but that grin on her face, I mean, she didn't
gave it all away.
She didn't have to say another word. She goes, oh, what are we waiting for?
Yeah, it was cute the way she did it. It was really
It was. And then she just she smiled and she kept walking. And we're like, it's happening.
It's happening. Thanks for the confirmation. Now we're not moving.
No, we're not moving.
We're not moving the rest of the night.
Yeah, not moving. And he went, you did mobile order for Casey's Corner.
Yep.
And like, I just got French fries. And we're eating on the curb next to the trash can in 100-degree heat, waiting on a parade.
In 11 years of living this close to Disney and going to Disney events, I have never eaten my dinner sitting on the curb on Main Street, USA. I have eaten on trash cans.
Yes, I think we all
many a times.
Yeah.
Disney's probably the only place on this planet I will eat off the top of a garbage can on my tray. But this was the first time I was sitting on the curb with a tray on my lap eating my dinner. And then we did it again the next night.
Oh my gosh, we did.
On Saturday night. But Saturday night I went and got the Nashville hot chicken tenders and sweet potato fries from the Outpost?
The cart that's outside of Pecos.
Where the beignets are.
Yes.
Because you would order beignets because you wanted to try those, and I got me the chicken and sweet potato fries, which are very good, actually. My only complaint would be more chicken.
Yeah, I had one of his sweet potato fries, and they were really good. I didn't try anything else because
it was spicy.
It was very spicy, and I don't do that great with spice. But yeah, from what I saw or you trying it and the dish itself, it looked pretty good. As far as the beignets go, they were good, but they were not Disneyland beignets.
No.
They were not. I would say not even like over at French Quarter.
Oh.
They were harder than a beignet.
So I know when we've been at the French Quarter and seen them making them, they have a big metal tray they put in there with the beignets, and they just flip the tray, and it flips all the beignets at once. These ones are cooked in a deep fryer, like a French fry deep fryer.
Okay, well that would explain why they're harder to eat.
Yeah, because they don't have that little thing to get them quicker
Bummer.
in and out of the
But at
fry.
least I tried it, and truth be told, I ate them anyway.
And you didn't get them with the honey. They're supposed to be a honey.
Yeah, I just
sauce.
got them with the powdered sugar, and yeah, it was good, but they're so airy that I was still hungry, and
She
so I
was
had to
hungry.
get a kid's meal.
So you got a quesadilla kids meal from Pecos.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right.
It was It was food.
I mean, eating your dinner on the ground 2 nights in a row is definitely an experience.
It's something I've never, like I said, in 11 years of us living here, we've never done that, and now we did it back-to-back days.
Right. All for the coverage, all for the greater good of the site. We're going to camp out in, 1,000,000-degree heat and, knee sweat and all that.
I'm just thankful we have enough friends down here that we didn't have to just sit there. We had people to talk to. It made the time pass by a lot better.
It really did. Plus I'm on medication, so it went really fast for me.
Yeah, I bet it did. So just really quick, I just want to cover some of the updates of some stuff going on at Disney World. Also, some media events we have coming up in this order. So tomorrow, July 22nd, Test Track will reopen officially. All the previews are over and such. So now this is...
And that's been soft opening the past couple of days, too, because Disney... I don't know. Okay, sidebar. Here's a question. Why? All right, so they're like, the grand debut of Test Track is the 22nd.
Because they got to make sure everything's working fine before
But
they
they've
open
done
it to the
previews for like a month and a half, and then they're going to like soft open it. Why have that date then?
I think a lot of it has to... Well, one reason they say soft opening is because if they have to close it and you're in line, there's nothing you can do about it. As a soft open, you take that risk. Secondly, I think it's to try to get bigger crowds in there to see how the cast members can deal with things as the ride is going. Because when they did the previews with the cast members coming in there with their families and friends and such, I don't think it was still the masses that will be from just having a soft opening with every guest in the park being able to go hop on the ride.
Right. So the media event was like a month ago, and like I had said on a previous show, the audio was not working in the car I was in.
Right.
And then there was one that was skipping audio, like it sounded like there was spots in there where you didn't hear anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had ordered again, and the audio didn't work at all.
So hopefully they fix those with and there's a lot of cars. Each car has its own audio system, so they have to make sure each car is set and ready to go.
And when I got out of the cars that weren't working, I checked the number of the car.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was like, okay, like 11's not working. And, okay, thank you.
And that's the cast members appreciate when you tell them stuff like that, because that way they have a specific thing to tell maintenance. Hey, car 11's not working correctly. The audio wasn't working.
Right. And I heard a little bit of rumblings from people that were there, quote unquote media. They're like, oh, you think it'd be better for the media? No, that's not how it works. We get to see it. Yes. We get to ride it. Yes. And, but they're still testing it, and they're still working out all the kinks and the bugs and whatever. And, I wasn't mad. I was like, hey, I'll write it again. And so I wrote it again, and there was no...
Because if they really wanted to, they could wait till the day it's opening and say, okay, media, come in the day of. And no, by giving us a preview, we go into the previews knowing something might not work correctly.
Right. And I think that it's just things have changed when it comes to, quote unquote media, and some of us who have been doing this a long time just understand that's it.
This is how the game is.
And I'm gonna say one more thing and I'll shut up. You should be happy that Disney invites you to anything.
Don't take it for granted.
Don't take it for granted. I know I never do, and I never will, but because I value my spot with Disney. But anyway, go ahead.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Okay, so Test Track again opens tomorrow, July 22nd. So if you're at Epcot tomorrow, make sure you get over there and check it out.
Yes.
Reported today, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid has gone down for refurb and will be closed until the 26th of this week also.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's just closed for a small refurb of like 5 days.
Oh, interesting.
But I saw that, and I just wanted to mention that while we were on the air.
Okay.
Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is going on refurb beginning August 4th.
That's coming up quick.
It's coming up quick. Spaceship Earth's refurb August 25th, which is why they had to get Test Track open, because they needed another attraction to let people go do since they couldn't be on Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, they timed that well.
They did. Disney World Play and Preview event is coming the end of August, which you're invited to.
I am.
August 21st and 22nd. So make sure you stay on socials that day. Michele will be posting pictures and such from the event. Do you want to talk a little bit about what the event is?
Well, I don't really know. I just, whenever Disney invites me to something, I say yes, and then I figure it out later. So I got this invitation for this 2-day event.
This event means you have to hang out with Figment for 8 straight hours.
No, it does not.
That's all this event is about.
It does not.
You're staying and playing with Figment all day long.
All right, can I finish? All I know for sure, that's the only thing they mentioned, is getting to see the new pub at Magic Kingdom by Pirates.
Yep.
The Pirates Pub.
Pirate Pub.
So, yeah, I get to see that and whatever else. And supposedly it's implied, like, what to look forward to when it comes to Walt Disney World.
Okay.
So, I don't know if we're going to get any, like, special info on things that are coming or any hints for anything. But, yeah, I'll be really curious to see what it's all about. And we always get what they call a know before you go email whenever you're invited to a Disney event. So I wait for that second email so I know where I have to be, what time, the whole itinerary. So once I know what I'm going to get to see, I will let you know too.
Right. So, again, that's August 21st and 22nd. Then Epcot's Food and Wine begins August 28th.
Oh, yeah.
So we will be there that day to cover the opening. We will be there bright and early. Destination D is Destination D23 is August 29th through the 31st, that whole weekend.
Yeah.
Which you will be there. We found that out today.
I got my immediate invite for it today.
Right. Also on August 29th, we're believing Halloween Horror Nights media event will be that evening. So I will be...
I thought you said the 28th when...
No, the 28th is the special premium package you can purchase for that night.
Right.
The 29th would be the media night where they invite the media out. The 28th you have to pay. It's like $400 to go to that event now.
Okay, so we're going to have to figure some things out because I'm going to be covering Disney. You're going to be covering Universal.
Exactly. So we're going to have to figure all that out. And then, again, the Boneyard at Animal Kingdom will be closing September 2nd, so just kind of keep that in your agenda. Yeah, as far as us, though, we haven't gotten the invite for Halloween Horror Nights. I mean, I'm hoping that we'll be invited to it again. I don't ever like to just assume they're going to invite us.
No, and I don't assume either.
But I hope I do because I really loved that event last year. It was fantastic, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Oh, heck yeah.
So I hope I get invited again.
And the Halloween party will be starting in a couple weeks, which is crazy.
Middle of August, that begins, I believe. Like
it's so hard to wrap my head around all of these things that are coming, and they're coming up fast. And what?
Oh, one more thing, and I don't know if we can really allude to it, but people might want to watch their socials on Wednesday because you have a special event Wednesday.
I do. I forgot. Yes, I do.
She has a sit down. Are we allowed to talk about it?
I don't know.
Okay, well, just keep your eyes on social media on Wednesday.
It's a small private event opportunity.
From 9 to 10. I guess I could say it's with Imagineering.
Yes.
And that's all we'll say about it.
That's all I can say because I don't know what I'm allowed to speak about right now.
At this point, yeah.
And I don't want to get in trouble.
So Wednesday, pay attention to social medias, and whatever Michele can post, she will post for you.
I will do that.
So that's really the updates on attractions and media events we have coming up. As that list changes or things get added, or we make sure to let you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to run through the park and entertainment news really quick over the last week, what we've had. The Halloween Horror Nights started announcing their scare zones last week. So we had, I think, 4 announcements. Well, there was one last Monday, which we talked about on Monday show, and then they announced 3 more scare zones throughout the week. So we had blogs on all those, so you can read about that on the website.
And they're having a DJ. I'm super excited about that.
They are. That's a special thing they've added this year, and I'm trying not to get out of order. You know what? We'll stick with my order. So Scare Zone was the first blog after the show last week. New menu items at Be Our Guest at the Magic Kingdom coming.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Things coming. Then it was the third Scare Zone was announced after that one, and then the fourth one after that. So that was days in a row. All new Dole Whip peach flavor is now available at Disneyland Park.
Disneyland always gets the good stuff first.
And this coincided with the 70th.
Yeah,
off
because
the
it was the 70th anniversary on the 17th, because that's my dad's birthday.
Correct. What you were just talking about at Halloween Horror Nights, all new street experiences, which is something they've never done before. So we're going to have, I think it's zombies at Mel's Die-In Theater or Die-In Restaurant.
Yeah.
As well as a DJ
Somewhere.
playing somewhere. Yeah, we're not even sure where exactly it is, but there's going to be a DJ set up playing music.
If I get scared, I'll just be at the DJ.
She'll be at the DJ booth dancing to like a Dead Man's Party.
Maybe. I love that song.
I know you do. It's a Small World, the new verse ending was put into the attraction this past week. So that is there. Also, you can purchase it on vinyl or digital.
Yes.
If you have like Apple Music, whatever, you can add it to your play. I actually added it to mine the other day as soon as it dropped.
Oh, okay.
So Disney's Guide to Disneyland's 70th celebration treats. So they have a whole bunch of snacks and treats and such at Disneyland. So if you're going out there, and I know Corey's out there right now, Corey and Lucretia and the kids, there is so much food out there for them to try.
I
and
know.
sample out there
It's
that we didn't get to.
overwhelming.
It really is. You really have to pick and choose because I don't think anybody could eat all of it.
I mean, if you had a huge budget, maybe, because that gets expensive to buy all those snacks.
It really does. And then Disney Starlight Parade soft launched at the Magic Kingdom, so that was from Friday. Then we had this was something that was really cool that Disneyland dropped for Disney Plus is they have 17 point of view ride videos or attraction videos on Disney Plus. So I was actually, while we were sitting on the curb waiting for the Starlight on Friday, I was watching the Haunted Mansion one, and it takes you all the way through the queue, and you go into the stretching room, then you leave the stretching room, you go into the Doom Buggy, and then you ride through the attraction.
It's my favorite.
Really cool. So, and they've done that with 17 different attractions at Disneyland to coincide with the 70th.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And something to do if you can't find nothing on TV, which is pretty easy nowadays because there's not much on TV that's worth watching. This might be something to help you out. New popcorn bucket and the new Star Mix were announced for Starlight. So the bucket is just a normal bucket. It's
just a regular old popcorn bucket. Just says Starlight on the side.
I think it was $14.99 filled with popcorn and like $2.25 to refill it. And then the mix was $16.99. We tried the mix. They gave you a sample of it a few weeks ago
at a media event, and I didn't like it.
I wasn't sold on it. I don't know if ours was maybe had been sitting around for a little while, and that's why I didn't taste it.
You know what?
I don't know.
So it's back there where you could make your own popcorn, which we've talked about a ton of times back in the confectionery.
Yep.
But they have this special mix, and it's got like bubble gum and marshmallow and like all these flavors. Like to me, like bleh, like all I don't know. Maybe a child would probably really like it. Adults might think it's a bit much.
Maybe it's a little too sweet. I mean, the M&Ms are good always, but
yeah, I'd rather make my own.
Why not? And then you put out your review of Starlight after that. So make sure we're gonna go over kind of the review. We're not gonna be reading the review here, but if you want to go read Michelle's first thoughts,
it's a good review
of Starlight. And then after Michelle saw it the second and third time, she put out an additional review.
I had things to say.
She had more to say. Then just today, Disney Eats announced Fantastic Four foods and such that are coming to Disneyland Paris, and I want to say Hong Kong, but I could be wrong.
Of course not Disney World.
Nothing at Disney World. Again, we didn't get anything. So the Fantastic Four movie does debut this week. I plan to see it somewhere. I don't know. We're going to Michigan, which we haven't announced, but we will be in Michigan, so there won't be a show next Monday. But I do plan to see that film somehow before we go live again or before we do our show again.
Well, there's movie theaters in Michigan.
I have to see it. This is the one I've been waiting for the Fantastic Four. If you're a Marvel fan, you know that this is the first family of Marvel. They've been around since the 60s, and that's why the movie's set in the retro 60s type look. So this is one I've been waiting to see. So I have to go see it.
I hope it doesn't disappoint
I
you.
hope if it does, I'm done. All my Marvel stuff will be up for sale the next day on eBay.
You need a win.
I do, because it's been a rough couple years for Marvel.
It has. And I know how much you love Marvel, and I feel kind of bad for you that it just hasn't been what it used to be.
We're sitting in my office right now looking around, and you see Marvel on every possible wall.
Yeah, you do.
And I just printed Galactus, a similar version of the popcorn bucket they'll be selling. So I printed one of those on my 3D printer over the weekend, just because I wanted.
He's been a 3D printing machine lately.
I have been.
You
got all kinds of good ideas. I'm gonna start. Hopefully, we're gonna be able to put some of these out there and start selling some of this stuff because it's kind of cool Disney stuff.
It really is. We just have to paint them.
Yeah, paint them and make them look even better. But I have lots of ideas, so stay tuned for that. More on that will be coming. But I don't think that'll be on the podcast. That'll be more video for Michele to show you guys what we're doing.
Probably, but watch our socials.
So, and then it was also announced today that the Fantastic Four actually will be doing meet and greets at Disneyland in Tomorrowland. So not an Avengers campus.
Yeah,
it's Tomorrowland at Disneyland Resort.
Why do you think?
I didn't read the article because I was just trying to get it out because we were busy with other stuff. I don't know though. I don't know. Well, maybe because the movie is set in the 60s, so Tomorrowland kind of fits the.
I don't know. You would think it would be Avengers Campus.
I'm sure it probably eventually will move to Avengers Campus.
Or maybe they just wanted a different scenery because it's always Avengers Campus.
It could be.
Just to have a different thing to offer.
And all 4 characters are there, so it's a lot to meet them all. Even the Thing, and the Thing looks pretty good. The person who's
the Big Rock Thing.
Yeah, the Big Rock. He looks pretty good. Ben Grimm looks really good. So we'll see. I wish I could get out there to see it.
I know.
So are we ready to talk about Starlight?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
Let me see if we can get this going here. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to do something here, and of course, why would it work?
Of course, why would it work? It worked
Why
before.
would it work?
Let it play for another second so they can hear the music. Okay. So that is the opening of the parade.
Yes.
Now,
that was the one that I recorded that last night because I was in. Because if you listen to the beginning of that, it probably made you think, "Oh my gosh, it's Main Street Electrical Parade."
Yes,
But you can only hear that part if you're at the front.
And you hear it again during the last float. They play the Electrical Parade music.
Yes.
So here's what I'm wondering.
What's that?
So they play Main Street Electrical Parade maybe to get people hyped because so many people, and I wrote about this in one of my 2 articles. I don't remember which one, but music is so important when it comes to these type of parades because it's about being memorable.
Correct.
Like, I know how I can hear the music of Spectral Magic still in my head, and it's been gone a long time. Definitely, everybody knows the jingle for Main Street Electrical Parade because it's just been around.
It was around for so many decades,
and it went from Disney World, Disneyland, back
right.
and forth. Paint the Night is the When Can We Do This Again? From Wreck-It Ralph.
But even yesterday, so me and Greg were at the park yesterday, we were talking, and we were actually talking about this very subject, about the music. And he even goes, even if we know a cavalcade's coming out, we know the music for the cavalcade.
That's true. That's very true.
What is that, Vamos?
Oh, yeah. Or when during the 50th, it was Get Your Ears On.
Yeah. So even the new Disneyland short song they're playing by the Jonas Brothers.
Yes.
Know these songs because they become ingrained in your brain to where you are humming it, you're singing it when you leave.
I can hear the Jonas Brothers one in my head right now because it starts with like a whistle.
It almost sounds like their Christmas song.
It sounds just like their Christmas song, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. But so before we get too far, I just want to also, in case you missed it, so Starlight starts at the front of the park.
Yes.
It comes out near the train station. So where Festival of Fantasy goes in to go backstage, this one steps off right there and goes.
Yes.
And at first I couldn't figure out why they switched it, and I finally realized why. And it makes complete sense. Most people in the evening leave after a parade, leave after fireworks.
Yeah.
Right? But when the parade used to end at the fire station, you had all the people following the parade up plus all the people that were at the front, and then all these people are in one area. Now some are leaving, some are staying. But if you have the parade start there, all the people in the front who are leaving, they can get out there without the crowd.
Because we got out pretty quickly with no problem. And anybody who has ever been to Magic Kingdom at night knows it is a hot mess to get out of there. I mean, between the ferry or the monorail. There's no good way. But we left right after that, the second parade the other night, and it was easy peasy.
Yeah. Walk right out. We're on the ferry boat, and you're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty quick. Me and Greg did that last night. We finished watching the 9:00 parade, and we were on the ferry boat within 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's actually pretty smart.
It did. It worked out great. So, but yeah, that's why I came up with the conclusion that must be the way, because then you don't have everybody who's followed the parade all the way up Main Street from all the way through Frontierland. It keeps the crowd dispersed, which is smart.
Yeah, and the crowds have gotten so ridiculous, even just with fireworks. That like when the fireworks end, it's like, oh God, because the stampede of tons of people go up Main Street. And it's miserable. It is miserable.
It is. So, do we want to give our feeling about the parades before we go into the depth, or do we want to talk about the parade and then give our opinions? How do we want to do this?
Okay, so let's do the format like I do with my reviews.
Okay.
First, I give facts.
Okay.
And then I put opinion. So if you can get all the facts out the gate.
Right. So the first fact I'll give you, there's 9 floats.
Okay.
In the parade. Starts out with the Blue Fairy.
Yes.
Which is actually a really cool float.
Yes.
Actually, I cannot say anything bad about the floats. The floats all came out perfect.
They did.
I love the lighting. I love the little nuances to each float.
The floats are beautiful.
Yeah, Blue Fairy's actually at one point she makes the wish, and then the back of which you don't see, all of a sudden it lights up, and you see Geppetto and Pinocchio, and they're dancing.
Yes.
Really
they're very hard to see, by the way.
Very hard to see on camera. If you're there, you can see it a little bit better, but very hard to see in any videos we've done.
We'll talk about that later, too.
Talk about that later. The next one is Wish, which,
wah, wah.
If you care about Wish or not, it's still a really nice-looking float.
It is. I feel sorry for the cast member on there because, nobody really cheers for that float because the movie was, bomb.
Yeah. And each float, they're talking on the float.
Yes, and the lip syncing is really good.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't be able to do it.
So the Blue Fairy talks when and the Blue Fairy's probably 25 feet in the air.
Yeah,
I would say where she's at.
It's a huge float.
It's a huge float, and they were smart. They put little lights in front of all the faces of the people who are talking, so you can kind of see the person who's talking.
Yeah,
which was smart. So we got Blue Fairy, then Wish. The next one was the Encanto float.
Yeah,
which we have Maribel, her sister
Isabella, and
Bruno.
Bruno on the back.
And Bruno's rat.
And Bruno's rat.
You really got to watch for that. So that's on the which side of the float? If you're facing the float, it would be on the left side.
I don't know, but Bruno's all scattered and jittery.
But he's great, and he's the one that's talking to the crowd there. And there's a candle in the middle of the float as it's lighting up, and Bruno's just talking about family, and this is all about family and all that.
Because if you saw Encanto, you know the whole spiel with all of those, with all the nods to the movie you will get.
Correct. Next up is the Frozen float, which just has Queen Elsa on there, but she has blocks of ice, it looks like, behind her, and they're showing parts of the movie.
Yeah, different characters, like her sister, and then I saw Olaf. So those characters aren't with her; they're on the projection behind her.
Right, which is actually it's a really cool looking float. It's not huge, but it's one I kind of like the way they did it.
Okay.
So, next after that is the Princess and Prince float.
Yeah.
So you have Tiana and Naveen.
Mm-hmm.
You have then it was
Aurora
and Philip.
Yeah.
Prince Philip. Then you have Belle and the Beast.
Yep.
And then at the end, Cinderella and the Prince.
Yeah.
And so they're just dancing and such around there. And there's dancers in front of their float, and there's dancers behind their float. You can barely see them in the dark because they barely have lights on their costumes. We're going to talk more about that, but they are walking characters. But that float, we'll talk more about that float. That's the one float that I say it's a nice float, but it kind of missed being able to see everything.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Then you have the Coco float, which is a really cool float.
It is so cute.
It is.
It is so cute. They have Miguel on the front, and he's so small.
And he's playing his guitar.
So cute. It's just a really cute float.
It is. It's really a good one. And then after that one is Moana.
Yeah.
Which
it was okay.
It was okay. I think they could have done more with that float. It's cool, but they could have done a lot more. Then the next, which is one of the favorites of the thing, is Peter Pan and Wendy.
That's a cool float.
It's a really cool float because it's meant to look like the top of London. The buildings are all around it.
Yeah.
And they're above it, and the way they move, it kind of looks like they could be flying up there. The way they do it all.
it's really well done. That
It is.
float is really well done.
And in front of that float is Tink. She's the only character that walks the parade route.
The only character, and you can't see her.
You can't see her, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, that's irritating that you can't really see her that well. And being that she's the only character, she doesn't have time to talk to anybody or go up to the kids or any of that stuff. She's kind of running because she has to get down the parade route.
Yeah.
And then the last float is the Whimsy Train.
The
float,
train.
which is by far probably one of the best floats I've seen at Walt Disney World.
It's really good. So the train has a face, and the character is called Whimsy.
And it's digital, so his face is always
Yes.
changing.
It swirls and things.
With the color of the train.
Yes, and you have all your main characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
have
Mickey
Goofy
and Minnie are on the end of the float.
Goofy and Pluto are at the front.
Mhm.
Then Daisy and Donald
Mhm.
come up. Then after that, it's Snow White and Dopey, and they're sitting in a mine car.
Yes.
Then you have Flynn and Rapunzel in a boat
Yes.
with a lantern.
Yes, I love it.
Then you have Aladdin and Jasmine up on a carpet.
Yep.
And then Mickey and Minnie.
Yes.
So yeah, that is a great float. It really is. I really like the way that float came out.
Yeah, and it's nice to see a variety of characters. And it's like on that float, it reminded me like, okay, that's like the celebrity float because
Yeah.
it had all your favorite Disney characters, like, Mickey, Minnie, all of them.
From multiple decades.
Yes.
And that's the one thing I will say about this parade that I did like is that they didn't forget like a certain area of characters. So you have characters from all the way at the beginning with Snow White and Dopey and Mickey and Minnie. And then you go all the way forward and you do see Rapunzel and Flynn. You have Coco in the parade. You have Moana in the parade. Tiana, Encanto. You have all these characters. Beauty and the Beast, another one from the 90s. I mean, so you have characters from every possible decade.
Every
spread out throughout
genre is kind of represented, you could say.
which is good because sometimes they don't do a good enough job. They may forget like the characters from this decade. That they had.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to see that they spread it out to get characters from each one. And then Jiminy Cricket is on the end on the final.
So
the back of the
so
train.
at the end of the parade, there's like, how people for Boo to You, there's the walkers in front with the Boo to You sign. This is the same concept, but the Starlight sign in the very back, and there's ladies that are walking with it. And on the back of the sign, you see a digital Jiminy Cricket, which was like hand drawn by what's his name?
It was why can't I think of his name? Eric Goldberg.
Yes,
Yep.
and he did the animation for Aladdin.
Yeah, he's the
among
one who
other
drew the
things.
genie. He created the genie.
Yeah,
basically,
among
for
other
Aladdin.
things.
Yeah.
But so the Jiminy Cricket is pretty well done. And again, we saw it 3 times, and each time we saw it, the opinion had changed.
So after seeing it the first time, we loved it.
We were wowed.
We were wowed because remember, 9 years since we've had a nighttime parade at Walt Disney World.
And it was exciting to be on Main Street and for it to go black,
And that's when the crowd, even in the little part I played for you, when the crowd goes crazy, it's because they shut the lights off.
They shut the lights off, and it reminds me so much of this parade's predecessors where, it was exciting to be sitting there, and all of a sudden you're sitting in the dark, and then you look up Main Street and you see the Blue Fairy coming.
Yes.
And it's excuse me, it's majestic. It's exciting.
You get all the Disney feels at first.
Oh, sure you do.
At first.
So the first run through, I'm like, yes, the magic is back. I'm so excited.
Couldn't wait to see it again.
So we moved positions, the next day.
And we thought about it more and we talked about it.
Yeah, we were trying to be strategic. Like, where can we get the best view and not be surrounded by people?
Right.
And Main Street is the surrounded by people.
Main Street and then the area in front of the castle is just absolutely insanely packed.
Right. So if you don't want to be all peopled out, don't watch it there.
Right.
Okay. So when we saw it the second time, I started to see things that I was like, oh, and stuff I did notice the first run through. And I'm going to tell you some of my biggest problems. And then you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
First of all, and I wrote about this, so this should come as no surprise.
Right.
Too much black space in between floats.
Yes. So there's certain floats where they have people in front of the float. There's one where there's butterflies, I think, in front of the Encanto float.
But they're so dim.
You can barely see them. They need to be brighter. Even if they don't want the walkers to be illuminated, they could light the butterflies more.
It's like when you buy like those LED lights
Solar
for
lights.
outside solar lights and how they're not as bright as real lights.
Right.
That's what it reminded me of. And in front of Moana, there's walkers that are doing like this little spinny thing.
Right. It's supposed to be I think it's supposed to be like the what are those called? The
Waves or
is it the waves or is it supposed to be like the what is those animals called?
I don't know.
Manatees. I don't know if it's supposed to be the manatees floating through with the lights and lighting
I
it
don't
up.
think it's a manatee.
I don't know.
But
Not a manatee. Sorry, I said the wrong thing.
I was gonna say manatees. They don't do
Not
much.
the manatee. I meant the stingray.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So, anyway, regardless of
They have
what they're
sea cows.
supposed, they're sea cows. Manatees. Yeah, there's manatees.
That would have been awesome if they.
Oh
had
my God!
manatees.
Yeah, what a mess.
I said the wrong one.
I know, but it's funny. All right, so now I'm gonna be looking for manatees next time.
You are.
Anyhow, so whatever these, it could even be waves that they're supposed to be.
Who knows what it's supposed to be?
Who knows? But the lights are so dim, you can't even see the dancers. It's weird.
Yeah.
So too much dark space in between, because there's not people walking between all of them.
No, there's some areas where it's a float
It's
to float.
just nothing.
Yeah.
It's blackness. It's like a black hole between the floats.
And the park is so dark because there's no lights.
Yes.
It makes it even look darker.
It's weird. So my second critique, I guess, not just that you can't see the walkers, you have Tinkerbell is the only character that is walking the street.
Yes.
And you can't see her.
No.
And being that there's a lot of characters that are not in this parade. You know, there's no Ariel.
Right.
There's no Chip and Dale. Like, there's different characters that you could have put a light suit on and had them walk and greet like the kids going up the street. It's the blackness in between floats that for me that bothers me so much.
Yeah.
Because like you had said, our friends are in Disneyland, and I watched Lucretia's it wasn't
Paint the Night.
Yeah, Paint the Night video, and I got irritated because
They light
Paint the
'em up
Night
so good.
is so well done, and there are things in between each float.
Yes, there is.
Even like mini floats, people walking, and guess what? The people walking, you see them.
Yeah.
There's lights on them.
Main Street Electrical Parade, we did have that. We had different
We did.
things that were lit up in between the float areas to bring more light to it. The one with Tink I don't get, because Tink flies from the castle every single night.
And she's got
lit
lights
up.
all over
You
her.
can see her without a problem. And why can't they have that same lights on her walking in the parade?
It's almost like they were still working on it. Like, because there's nothing in between the floats, and it's just very noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe that they put the parade out like that, being that its predecessors had people walking, performers walking with lights that you could see.
And their other U.S.-based nighttime parade has walkers with lots of lights on them, too. Paint the Night. And that's the problem. We saw Paint the Night recently.
Ruined.
And after seeing Paint the Night, it's very hard not to compare every nighttime parade to Paint the Night.
And but it's the lighting. I don't understand. And I hope that Disney listens to guest feedback, because I thought we were just being a little jaded because we do this for a living. But then when I saw it the third time from the front, I thought, oh, it'll be brighter here. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
It's just a black hole in between the floats. And sometimes it's a pretty big stretch in between.
Yes.
And there's a huge stretch in front of blackness in front of the Peter Pan float. So you got Tinkerbell that's walking. You know, she starts at the float. She ends up walking like, I don't know how many feet away.
Well, she's 25, 30 feet in front of the
and
float.
it's like, oh my God. And because she's got to do all that by herself. And
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and like Festival of Fantasy, the walking characters, they come close to the crowd. They take their pictures. They come up and say stuff to the crowd. Tink can't do that because being she's the only character,
She's the only one.
she has to keep the parade moving.
and just kind of run back and forth.
Yeah,
And,
I feel sorry for her.
oh, man, I wouldn't want that job.
No.
But and again, if you have not seen Paint the Night, we have it on our YouTube channel. And I want you to go and do a research trip. Like, go to our YouTube, watch Paint the Night, then go to our YouTube and watch this one.
Yeah.
And you will see what we're talking about as far as not being able to see.
Yeah, Paint the Night. I mean, Paint the Night's been around for a while now, 10 years, I believe.
I
Paint
think
the Night
so, but
been
it's
around for 10
amazing.
years. But it's almost like they didn't learn what worked in Paint the Night to bring little things like the lighting.
Or
to
Electrical
this one.
Parade,
Or
or
Electrical,
Spectral Magic,
yeah.
because all of them had such bright lights that you could see all the performers.
Right.
Like you said on the Blue Fairy float, there's like netting behind Geppetto and Pinocchio for no reason. So if you weren't paying attention, you would not see them.
Or
back
there's
there.
times last night. So last night, I knew they were there, but when it passed me, it was solid black the entire time.
Oh.
So I saw it probably like 15 feet in front of where I was standing. I could see that it lit up. I couldn't see the characters, but I knew they were dancing in there. And then when it got past me about another 10 feet, that's when it turned back on the second time. Because the light goes on and off based on what the Blue Fairy is saying.
Yeah.
So it depends on where you're standing as to what you're going to get to see.
Right. So another critique. We're not Imagineers, mind you. We are just
Fans.
Is, okay, we're going to do the princess float. It is so high up, and where they dance, there's like it goes up to where there's still lights and you can barely see them.
On the one side.
Yeah. So you can't even tell really who. The one side I couldn't see what princesses were up there.
I honestly didn't realize Beast was up there at first.
Oh
the
my
first time when
God.
we watched it the first night, because the way we were standing, the pillars, I guess I'll say, because it kind of looks like a ballroom.
Yeah.
The way they do the pillars. One side, the pillars are low. On the other side, their pillars are high. So depending on which side of the street you're standing on, the first float is the opposite. So if the pillars are low in the back on the right side, then they're high on the front on the right side.
But
so it's just
the float is just so high that you can't see the characters very well. Like if you were like, I'm tall,
Right.
and I had a hard time seeing them. But like if you're a child and you're way, way shorter, you might not even be able to see who those princesses are.
No.
Like, because if you go, let's go back to the train float for a minute.
Mhm.
Everything is lit up. I think that's why it's my favorite float. Everything is lit up. You can
Very
see
bright.
every character like spot on. You aren't squinting to say, is that Mickey Mouse over there? You know, it's well done.
But I will say the right side of the train float is better than the left side.
Oh.
Because that's the side you can actually see Flynn and Rapunzel in the boat better.
Better, yeah.
You can see the mine car that Snow White and Dopey are in better. The train itself is the same. Daisy and Donald, the exact same. Aladdin and Jasmine, the same. Mickey and Minnie. But if you want to see Rapunzel, Flynn, and the other two I just said, Snow White and Dopey, to be on the right side of that float.
Yeah,
You're gonna
or
see
you
it
can
better.
just be on one side of the street for 9 o'clock and one side of the street for 11
Why
o'clock.
not? Yeah, that would work.
Okay, I'm going to give you one more critique, and then you can add
Okay.
the music.
Oh, that's what I was waiting to go off on. Because everything else you've said, I agree 100%, but the music is my biggest.
Okay, so I'm going to make a point, and then you can ramble. So Atwood is very hopped up about this. I'm going to just put a disclaimer on it.
Don't steal my thunder, because you know some of the stuff I want to say.
I know. The music is forgettable. It doesn't have a tune like how previous. You hear like the beginning of Main Street Electrical Parade. It brings back the nostalgia, and you know what it is. You hear the majestic music of Spectral Magic, and you're like, wow. That sticks in your head.
Yep.
Those two stick in your head. And then if you go to holidays, Boo to You Parade, if I see it in August, I'm singing Boo to You all the way to Christmas because it sticks so much. Everybody knows that song. Or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Time Parade. Everybody knows that music. So I still remember, the music to Illuminations, Tapestry of Dreams. All of these things that really the music sticks in your head and your heart.
Oh, yeah.
And you know it.
Well, that's when you hear the intro to this parade. If you're in the front area and you hear the step off, and it's Main Street Electrical's parade, the nod to that, then I keep hearing the electronic voice, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Yeah.
You can hear that in your head because that's the next.
Present the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Yes, exactly.
We suck at robot voices.
We do suck at robot
I'm just
voices,
gonna
but I
say
think
that.
they know what we're talking about.
Man, we suck.
So, are you done? I don't want to jump in if you're still talking about music.
So music forgettable. Go ahead.
So my biggest issue.
Here we go.
I've seen the parade 4 times now. You've seen it 3. I've seen it 4 times.
Okay.
I could not tell you the song.
Right.
I could not tell you a lyric. I could not tell you the beat.
Nope.
I could not tell you. You know what song sticks in my head? You Can Fly.
Yeah. So when the parade floats go by, some of them have a tune that goes along with that float.
Moana's music is from Moana.
Yeah.
Frozen is Frozen's music. Encanto is kind of that.
Wish, no one cares.
Coco is the music from Coco. I mean, and that's what takes away from the soundtrack that is supposed to be for this parade. Secondly, why, with all the composers Disney works with, all the musicians Disney works with, why do they not have Lin-Manuel
Miranda or
Alan Menken? You have these incredible artists who have made you a fortune at the box office. Elton John. These people have made you a fortune on soundtracks for your films.
Yes.
Why not bring them in to help with that? It just makes no sense to me. You have the Jonas Brothers singing a 2-minute song for Disneyland's 70th. That's going to go away.
Yeah.
When the 70th is over, you won't hear that song because it goes for the 70th only.
Yeah.
This is a parade that could be here for 10, 15, 20 years, and the soundtrack is not memorable. And that's my thing. If you come here on vacation, you're going to watch the parade. You're going to be like, oh, that parade's nice. And you're going to leave. But you're not going to leave remembering the music.
No, it's very confusing. It is very hodgepodgey, and like, okay, Paint the Night, they use the same song through the whole thing.
Right.
Spectro, same, pretty much. Electrical Parade, same song.
It's that repetition that gets it to stick in your head, and that's what they did with the Jonas Brothers in Disneyland 70.
Or Boo to You.
Boo to You, because you hear that throughout, and that starts up, boo.
Yes.
Boo. You know, it starts to build up, and people get excited.
I can hear, oh my God, this was a mistake, because I'm going to be singing Boo to You now.
You're starting it now instead of next month.
I am.
But I said to you the other night when we were talking about it, and I said the problem with the music here, it's forgettable.
Totally.
And as a Disney fan, I don't want it to be forgettable.
Me either. I wanted a new tune to have.
I wanted a new tune. I wanted a reason for me to stay at the Magic Kingdom late at night. And guess what? This is not the reason.
Ooh.
Happily Ever After is what's going to keep me there late at night. It is not the parade. If I'm there, I will watch the parade.
But you're not making a special trip to go see the parade.
I will make a special trip to go see Happily Ever After because when I'm down, if I need a boost, Happily Ever After gives me that boost.
Right, and sometimes we need that boost. But again, that's another song that is memorable.
Yeah, and all the movie songs, everybody knows them. But the intro
and the exit.
And the exit.
Yeah, exit.
You know that song, and you walk through. We were singing it the other night, walking through the park because we're trying to get to the front of the park, and Happily Ever After was going on.
We're singing the song.
We're singing the song because we
know it.
Because we see it so much, and people who may not come down here all the time don't know it that well. But if you download that soundtrack, you know it. You know, if you've heard it more than once, you know it because it's catchy.
Right.
And there was nothing about this parade that made it catchy. And I don't know if they kept the music quieter because the characters are talking.
I don't know. But no, because they talked like Pete's Dragon and Pete talked in the electrical parade.
That's true.
So, I mean...
Fairy Godmother talked. Yeah, you've had a lot of characters that have talked and the music was still there.
Right. Okay, so... the Court of Public Opinion agrees with us.
Okay.
Because I have read the comments on our stuff. I've read the comments across social media. I have friends who are Disney fanatics that messaged me and they were disappointed.
I was going to say, we have a group chat with other people who do what we do.
Yes, so our colleagues, I'm not going to name them, our colleagues feel exactly the same.
But yeah, it's not just one other set. There's a few.
There's a handful of
sites. A handful of us that are all in a group text with one another to talk about stuff, and everybody kind of feels the same way about the music.
Yeah, they're like, it's not this grand, majestic music that you're gonna remember forever. They just need. I really feel like they need to work on that. They need more performers. They need it shouldn't be only Tinkerbell in the whole parade that's walking.
Well, that's why I said you could have Maui walking and you could have his hook lit up.
Oh, yeah.
You could have other characters walking this. Olaf could be walking in front of the Frozen one.
Yeah.
And with him, they could put the lights in to make it look like he's glistening with the snow.
Like glistening snow.
I mean, there's ways they could add characters to this to make it more. I get it. They don't want villains because this is all about making your wishes come true, and villains.
Yeah, and
don't
that's fine.
fall
But
anywhere
there's
in there.
other characters.
But there's enough heroes to where they could make this work. And I just don't know. Sometimes I wonder if people are afraid to tell the people in charge they don't like something.
I don't know. And the thing is that the more I saw it, the more I was like, aw. Like, I really wanted to love it 100%. Do I think it's beautiful? Yes. But there's a lot of misses instead of hits. And there's so much room for improvement. And, if guests give feedback, I mean, I know, like, I try when I write a review to be honest,
Right?
Nicely honest. I don't trash it and say it.
No, you don't have
sucks.
to. You don't have to rip it to shreds.
No.
But I'm gonna tell you what I like and what I don't like. And like we said, we absolutely love the floats. The floats are fantastic. The way they built them, they're great. I think the characters are great on the floats. But I think the music needs to be improved. The dark areas need to be lit up.
Mm-hmm.
You need more characters to be walking that street.
Yeah, it's too much darkness.
There's just these little things that I think could add to that parade so much.
Like I said, if you watch Disney's other nighttime parades videos,
This would be the least favorite.
you will see exactly what we're talking about. And that's why I said give you some homework to watch them both.
Mm-hmm.
See, so when I was watching Lucretia's video, I was like, this is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because there's all kinds of stuff in between the big floats.
And heck, you don't even need this stuff. Mac alone could light up the entire parade route.
Well, yeah, but they have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, the other Disney parades are closer to 20 minutes. This one is 11 minutes
11
long.
minutes, yeah. One thing I did like about the floats is there is a ambient glow under each float.
Yeah,
That kind of
that's
matches,
cool.
which is kind of cool because it shows you like where the float ends and the street begins and such like that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It is. It's great. It kind of looks like how when people used to put the neon underneath
Under
their
your
cars.
car, yeah.
It kinda
Or
looks
under
like
the
that.
monorail when
Yes,
there's lights under the monorail.
Very good example.
Yeah.
Very good example. I really want to love this parade. I really do. But I just can't in the current state it's at.
No, and one of our followers commented, so it's not coming from me, okay? Throw it out there. But they were like, why doesn't Rapunzel have her own float? Because you could have done the lanterns. You could have done when her hair starts to glow.
Yeah.
When her
That would have been good because that would have lit up that whole area with her hair glowing.
Yeah, and nobody can understand why Wish. Because it, and here's the thing. I'm very anti-Wish. And here's why.
And you've never seen it.
No, and I
It
don't.
would be a great movie.
No, because I heard it's not. So, it's because of the fact that the movie didn't do well and Disney tried to oversell it. They put all the merchandise out first. They put out the character for kids to meet that nobody knew.
It's almost like they did with Snow White. They had to get the hype up there.
Yes.
They realized they weren't getting the hype they needed for the film.
Well, Snow White was more of a disaster. This was a little better. And then within weeks of the movie coming out, now Disney does not clearance merchandise out. They clearanced all their merchandise out. And there was a ton of it. Because I remember seeing when the merchandise first came out, I was like, what's this? Because nobody even knew about the
No, because it was in the parks before the movie was out. Like, you were meeting the character who was on the float.
Yeah, and it's like these kids don't know who that
I have
is.
no clue who this girl is yet.
So I heard from somebody. Now, I don't know if this is true, so don't take it as gospel. But I heard that just like with the character and the merchandise and the push, they assumed Wish was going to be a hit. Now, they have been working on these floats for years.
Yep.
So I heard the Wish was already done or close to done, and they left it.
That's what we were talking about. Me and you were talking about that the other day with somebody else we saw
Yes.
at the park who runs another site. And he had said that he believes that's why it was there. Because even he said to me, he goes, I have no clue why Wish is in here. But he goes, the only reason I can figure is because they started construction on it before Wish even really hit the scene.
Yeah.
And when it tanked, they were too far into it. Because it's the smallest float of the whole.
It's the smallest float, yeah. So it could have even been done.
It could have been done, and then how do you pull it out once it's done?
And you put money into something like that. So I understand it from that perspective.
However,
However,
I can bring up another example of this.
oh boy.
Where Disney spends, and then they stop. Walt's animatronic
Oh crap, yeah.
in Disneyland does not look like Walt Disney to me.
I mean,
It looks more like John Ratzenberger than it does Walt Disney.
it resembles Walt. And so, and again, we're not being negative. We're telling you what everybody is saying on our stuff, and we're being honest. And so I made a picture last week, and I put real Walt versus animatronic Walt.
Right.
No, it's on Instagram and it's on my Facebook.
I'm going to pull up the Facebook to get the numbers while you're talking about it.
I did not anticipate so many people commenting on this picture. On Instagram, they're still going at it, and everybody has the same thing to say, that they missed the mark with Walt. Now, the animatronic moves smoothly. Walt is a little heavier set than he really was. So it's Walt-ish.
Right.
And we're never going to get like an exact duplicate of Walt Disney, obviously. But the traction those posts have gotten is insane. And people have a lot to say. And you know, that's the thing. And we knew it was going to be that way, because when they announced they were doing an audio animatronic Walt, people had knee-jerk reactions. It was like, should you be doing this? And, you know, if you're going to go through with this, then it's got to be spot on, and it just isn't.
No, it's not. And the picture you have of real Walt, like Sam tried, is the same suit.
Yes.
Same tie clip.
Yep.
Same everything. So it's really easy to spot the difference.
Because I knew the background of fake Walt was when Walt was talking.
Correct.
I've seen the video.
Right. So your video or your photo, this is just a photo on Facebook.
This is a side-by-side.
Side-by-side photo. It's been viewed 263,000 times. It has received over 2,000 interactions.
Oh, my gosh.
It has received over 1,200 comments.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, I know we have a large Facebook audience. We have almost 500,000 just on our main Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't get these kind of numbers anymore because Facebook doesn't allow it to get these kind of numbers. But this one took off so much with people who weren't followers of ours.
Yeah, same thing on Instagram.
That it got shared out there, that other people started seeing it and they started commenting on it.
And our numbers have gone up because of this photo.
I know. I was trying to find photos of other things like this, like characters.
Like, what
in the
else
park
can we
and what they
do?
really look like. Yeah, this one has done. It's been crazy how much interaction this photo has gotten. But it doesn't look like Walt to me. The face is way too heavy. And everybody kept saying, we can't miss the mark on Walt. Walt has to be 100% Walt, because if we don't do it right, we're going to tick off all the fans.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up Walt in this, but we were talking about how, like Wish, and how they kind of just, instead of spending more money to fix it, they just kind of.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder. They've been working on this for over a year, and I feel I'm not as mad about it as everybody in the comment section. I feel like you're never going to get Walt spot on. And maybe, just maybe, if you see it in person and see him stand up and start talking, it's going to tug on your heart.
I think it will.
Because I know if I sit there and watch a quote-unquote Walt talking, I'll probably cry.
Just hearing when they play his voice in the park.
Yes.
On different things. We were somewhere recently. I can't remember where we were. Oh, it was at Epcot when we were there for 4th of July. We were standing in front of Spaceship Earth, and they were playing like the history of Epcot. And you hear Walt say, we call it Epcot.
Yeah.
And just hearing him say that, it does tug at your heartstrings, because it makes you think, oh my gosh, yes, this is what, because the way Walt sold these parks and the way he sold his ideas, for Disney fans, it brings the tears. It pulls the heartstrings.
Everything.
It will take the biggest guy on the face of the earth who probably never cries and make him turn into a sobbing little baby, because
baby.
it brings that out in you, though. It brings you back to your childhood. It brings you back to the good times. It brings you back to life when it was
Classic
different.
Disney. I mean, now, mind you, Walt was gone way before we were even on this earth. Walt came up with these things way before we were even thought of.
And before anybody else thought of these things.
Right. I mean, my parents weren't even born when he started all this. And I think that, to me, you can look at it two ways. You can critique the heck out of that animatronic, or you can take it for what it is. And I think for me, I just am amazed at the fact, and I will always be amazed at the fact that this man had ideas, no way to fund them, didn't know how he was going to do it, but he was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact, because Disneyland turned 70 in the past few days, the fact that 70 years, when he stood on that stage and said, to all that come to this happy place, welcome, could he have even imagined what his dream turned into because of all the parks, international parks, movies, merchandise? I mean, it blew up.
Yeah, when Walt passed, the only dream we knew about was Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
Magic Kingdom was being built to fund Epcot. Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World was built only to fund Epcot being built.
Right. In Magic Kingdom, they already had kind of a model of what they wanted to do with Main Street. And, I mean, it's not obviously not the same park, but they had some similar ideas.
Correct. So, but he even still did things at Walt Disney World that he didn't do at Disneyland because he had the room now. He had the space
there was
now.
more room.
But when he was building Disneyland and everybody told him it wouldn't work, thankfully his brother and his friends who were Imagineers and stuff stayed by his side, and some of them didn't get paid. Some of them they did the work for free because they wanted to see this dream come to life, because that's what Walt was. Walt could look at people and give them the dream, and he would tell you, you're a part of this dream. Will you help me bring it to fruition? And they did. They did. Because they wanted to see what his vision was. When he sold the idea of making Snow White into the first full-length cartoon of a film, he acted out the entire movie to the artists and to the 9 old men who ended up creating the film. He acted it out. I mean, there's that famous photo of him holding the apple as like the hag, the old hag, doing that scene. But that's how he could sell you. He could sell you, and he was the best salesman to ever walk the face of this planet. And
the most imaginative person. Like, I am, like, what kind of imagination I'm sorry, I can't talk. Must you have had to create all these things out of the blue? To, I want a park and it's got to be a castle and it's got to be this, this, and this. And, that kind of creativity is special.
And what's funny is, so all the people he hired early on, he hired horticulturists to do the trees and the bushes on that. And he hired Bob Gurr was a car designer, but he brought Bob Gurr in, and Bob created the Main Street vehicles. He created the Speedway.
The Matterhorn.
Matterhorn. He created all this stuff.
He created the Doom Buggy.
Yeah. He created all these things. That's not what he went to school for.
No.
He went to school to create cars for Ford, Chrysler, GM. He did not go to school to create
things for a theme park.
But he's one of the greatest people in Disney history because of how much he created and how much we interact with every day.
Yeah. And it's just, to me, it's overwhelming. It's amazing. And I think that, is it spot on? No. But I feel like maybe they may make changes to it, because I could be wrong. But I feel in my heart that Disney is starting to listen to the fans a little bit.
A little bit. And they could do a refurb eventually to where the whole thing is they don't even have to shut it down to do the refurb on the Walt thing. They could just create another animatronic and take that one out, put a new one in, and it could look different.
Well, I don't know if they want to spend the money to do that.
But they should. Because the problem is they make so much money. Give the fans what they want. And I get it. But when you see the salaries of some of these people and things like that, and it's like, but you cut corners on certain things, and I'm not saying Universal's ever going to overtake Disney as the #1 theme park in the world, but they're starting to give them a little bit of a run for their money.
Well, Universal has all our old Imagineers that are building their park.
And that's why Epic is as nice of a park as it is, because you had some of the greatest minds in the history of building theme parks go there. And they were given a checkbook and said, create it.
Yep. And their animatronics are off the charts.
They're off the charts. And it just goes to show you that if you're willing to put the money into it. But the problem so Universal does a fantastic job. But Universal gets to a point and they don't build any more for that ride or
Right,
whatever, or they may
right.
not maintain it the way Disney does.
Right.
Disney's always had that. So all these Imagineers that went there and built that park, had we still had them, would this animatronic look different of Walt? Would this parade look different?
Yeah,
How much of this stuff would have been different to have? You have Joe Rohde, who created Animal Kingdom.
right.
The man built the entire Animal Kingdom, and it's a phenomenal park. But you let that mind go.
Yep.
And it's things like that I still question. And I get it was probably financial decisions because of budgeting and stuff like that. But at what cost are you sacrificing?
There's a lot of great minds that don't work with the company anymore.
Mhm.
And we know, okay, we're not even speculating because we know former Imagineers that went to Universal.
Yeah.
And they've said, like, all our good guys went to Universal. And it shows over at Epic Universe. So I don't know. I just think that they need to find, the right people to do the right things. And I never, because I'm such a Disney diehard, I never throw in the towel. I never say, okay,
I'm not quitting.
I'm not quitting
No.
Disney.
They
Because
can always fix it.
yeah, and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful with the new parade that they realize it's a black hole in spots, and they got to do something about that. And I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that the Imagineers
Didn't see that.
don't see that.
Or the show directors or whomever
Directors
did
or
it.
whoever. It's like, look at your other parades and look how beautiful and bright they are. Like, why is this one so stinking dark?
And you know that they do stuff. There's pictures of Josh D'Amaro at Epic Universe walking around because he
Yes.
wanted to see what they did over there.
Yeah.
Because some of the people who designed it worked for him at one
I
time.
know.
So it's not a secret that the people who run Universal and the people who run Disney, they talk.
Of course they do.
Talk about technology. They talk about what each are doing because having competition is good for business.
But they also, we found out when we moved here, they also respect each other.
Yes.
Because, like, hey, you're doing a great job bringing in the visitors, and then the same thing for the other park. So I don't even know if it's necessarily quote unquote competition, because those two resort areas bring in tons of money for the city of Orlando.
Oh yeah.
And
the state of Florida, period.
yeah, and without one of them,
Mhm.
it would not be good. So they do respect each other.
And by being there, they keep the other one trying to do better.
Yeah, I respect that because, that's good. That's good business that, we're going to go check out what you're doing and, good job.
Well, that's why Walt built Disneyland, because he saw what was there, where he used to take his Sundays was daddy-daughter day.
Yeah.
And he would take him to the park and they would ride the carousel. And that's all there was for him to do.
Mhm.
And he had to sit on the bench while he watched his daughters on the carousel. And he's like, I want something better.
Yeah.
I want something where the whole family can be involved. So he created himself as competition to where he was because he wants something better.
Yeah, I mean, talk about an imaginative person. So, I mean, I guess I don't want anyone to think that we're being like negative about the parade. It's just observations because we've seen so much that they've done.
And our hopes were really high for it.
Yeah, and like I said, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my God, it's great.
I loved it. Yep.
And then the second time, I'm like, oh, the music, and it's so dark.
Because you don't notice it the first night, because the first night you haven't seen any of this. So everything is new. So your brain goes on overload and
Oh,
it's
heck
trying
yeah,
to take in
heck
all the
yeah.
images and all the characters and all the everything. And then when you see it the second time, okay, nothing is a shock. You know what floats are coming now. You know what characters are in there.
And you know how
So
much
now-
darkness is
So now you
coming.
start to notice the other little things. And I'm not saying they didn't do a good job. I just feel there's little things that should be redone maybe.
For sure. And, we suggest that you don't listen to us per se.
No.
You go and see it yourself. If you're not going to the parks anytime soon, like I said, go to our YouTube, compare notes between the two parades because there's really no comparison.
No. You can't.
Paint the Night has set the bar so high because it's everything.
And I know they say some of the ones overseas are even better.
Yeah, but for U.S.
Yeah,
parks,
for U.S. based parks.
the bar is set so high because it's that wonderful of a parade.
And I'll say this about parades. One of the reasons we were so hopeful for this parade, because Festival of Fantasy has started to become, Yeah.
It's falling apart.
There's certain floats that aren't there anymore. The Merida float's not even in existence anymore. You
No,
don't see it.
TikTok.
Sometimes certain floats aren't there for whatever
they
reason.
take the floats out. It's like what they changed the music. I feel like if I'm gonna predict, I'm gonna say that Festival of Fantasy will be going away sooner than we think,
Or get a refurb.
or get a
Shut down or full
complete refurb because it needs it.
Yeah.
And it's been out for 11 years.
Yeah. It's getting to that point where it needs an update.
It needs it's on life support. It needs some help. And the only way that we know that is because every time we see it, there's a float missing.
Or they bring it back and then it's still not working the way it was
Still not
before.
working right,
Yeah.
or it's like if these floats are starting to break down, that's a problem.
And that's why Spectro Magic went
That's
away.
what happened with Spectro Magic.
The
It
floats
started
were
to
falling apart.
falling apart.
Yeah.
So then when that happens, you have choices to make. Do we refurb what we have, or do we build something new? And that is, to be continued.
And I think as long as we have a nighttime parade, they could take it away.
They could and put something else new in
and
there.
fix something out to come out
Or just
new.
the cavalcades like they did
Yeah.
when the parks reopened.
Mm-hmm.
There's other things you can do to entertain people during the day. And I love Festival of Fantasy. Don't get me wrong. I love the music. I love that parade.
And it's memorable music.
And
Again,
I love the Tangled Float.
because each float uses the same bass music.
Yes. And I know the words to the Festival of Fantasy parade.
I can picture Beast and Belle dancing
Yes.
as I see it getting closer. And you used to have the dancers in front of them.
Oh, that's
You
not
don't
there
have that
anymore. It's almost like they're chiseling it away. They're taking more and more away from it, and I don't understand why.
Eventually, it's just going to be Mr. Shmee walking.
Yeah, or or you have like even the finale, the float. Not Mickey on the balloon, but the one before it. That's
The
like
circus type
the
float.
circus thing with the swings, and that was
Dumbo and everything.
yeah, that was a huge fan favorite.
And the last couple times we've seen it, it wasn't there.
It wasn't
We haven't seen it in
there.
a couple weeks, so I will say that.
Yeah,
But we saw it a few times, a few months back, and the times we saw it wasn't there.
and poor Merida, man, what happened to her?
Yeah, her float does, and her float was so much fun. The dancing and her dancing up there,
Her
and
clapping and
watching
getting
her hair bounce,
and getting the kids clapping. And
Yes.
it was just great. But, and these are all just our opinions. You guys can feel free to share your own. You're always welcome to email us and let us know what you think. But yeah, so that's just our first take on the new parade.
Yes.
And, maybe we'll change our minds. Maybe they will make it a little brighter so people can actually see.
Yeah, and I can say at this point, after seeing it 4 times over 3 days, I'm not in a rush to go back to see it right now.
No, because we've seen it.
I don't want to fight the crowds. It's not worth it to me to fight the crowds. Happily Ever After, I could have seen that every night of the week when it first came out for weeks on end because I just love the show so much.
And it's sentimental.
And to this day, there is nothing in that show that I don't like.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. But again, make your own opinion. I would
Mm-hmm.
love to hear what you have to say. But yeah, we like it, but we think it needs improvement.
Yeah, there's parts of it we like. There's parts of it that we just aren't happy with, and we wish it'll get changed over time.
And it's the general consensus. It's the chatter. It's what other people are saying. This is not just coming from us.
And eventually that chatter will get back to the powers that be.
Oh, they read in comments. That they do.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's when does it make a difference or not? And I guess that remains to be seen.
I mean, we might lose our media invites for having an opinion, but hopefully we don't.
No, because our colleagues have all said
No, I
the
know.
same
Everybody
thing,
said the
so
same.
they
I
would
was
have
just
to
making
get
a
rid of
joke.
everybody.
No, I know. I was just making a joke.
But I do love Disney. I love what they do. I love the beauty of the parade. I just wish they would tweak it a pinch.
Yeah, the music's the big one for me. I want something I'm going to walk away humming it or singing it
Yeah.
or looking for, or when it starts right from the beginning, just start singing it. And I haven't got there.
Or you just know the tune, and we just don't know the tune. But yeah, there's room for improvement. I hope you guys, when you see it, I'm sure the first time you see it, you're gonna love it.
Oh, I agree.
But if you keep going back, you might be like, oh, why is it so dark here? Oh, why this and that? But yeah, go see it. Let us know what you think.
Yes, definitely. So are we all set then?
Oh yeah.
So we have no question this week because I knew we were going to be talking a lot more about Starlight, so I didn't put a question in for this week
Okay.
for you. But if you do have a question for Michele that I could ask her on another episode, you could email me, scott@themainstreetmouse.com, and I will ask her the question live on the air as we're recording, so you can get her truth answer.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a listener of Michelle's Daydream Believing podcast, which comes out on Thursdays, you can email her at michele@themainstreetmouse.com. If you have show ideas, comments, or just questions you want to ask her
Yes.
about that show, you can. There will be no show for her this week,
No, there will not.
unless you recorded early. But
Unless I recorded early.
and there's a
I did
chance you
tell
won't.
them last week that I was not doing a show.
And you probably won't have one next week then either.
I did tell them that's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, we won't be home unless you record it on your iPhone. We won't. I'm not. I'm not taking the podcasting equipment with us to Michigan.
Nah. Okay.
And again, we won't be here next Monday, but we will be here the following Monday.
Yeah.
So August 4th, I think.
Oh my
is the date
God.
it is.
Is it that?
Yeah, that'll be our next show.
Oh my goodness.
Just want to quickly mention our
Okay.
sponsors. MEI Mouse Fan Travel, our official travel partner of the Main Street Mouse. They will help you plan the perfect vacation you can. Any of the banners on our website, click that. You will be routed to their website, fill out a small form of what you want to do, where you want to go, and one of their travel advisors will reach out to you. They are the best. By helping them, you're helping the Main Street Mouse. So
That's right.
you're supporting us if you help their business. And it's free for you.
Free.
100% free. Also, our official stroller scooter partner, Kingdom Strollers, who's been around with us since the Main Street Mouse started.
15 years.
15 years they've been with us. They will help you with your stroller or scooter rental. Just go to their website, kingdomstrollers.com, find the item you want to rent, fill out the information there. They will deliver it to wherever you're staying. They will pick it up at the end of your trip, and they're great. So check them out. And again, helping them helps us. So please use their services.
Yeah, check them out.
I'm all done. I'm tired of talking. My voice is starting to hurt. So I'm
I
going to
know.
let Michele close out the show first.
Yeah, I'm tired of talking too. That's a shock, right? Okay, so don't forget September 6th, Disney Springs, our 15-year meetup celebration. We're going to plan some things. One of our staff is making a scavenger hunt, which will be super fun. It'll be a really great day. So go to our event tab on the Main Street Mouse on Facebook and RSVP. I will be putting more information out as far as location and times shortly as soon as I have them. And don't forget about lostprincessapparel.com for all your Disney outfit needs that are cute, comfortable, and affordable. That's a big one. And you are helping our small business by shopping lostprincessapparel.com. And on that note, I hope you have a wonderful, magical, fantastic 2 weeks ahead, because you're not going to talk to you next week. But yeah, have a good one, guys, and we'll see you real soon.
Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather your belongings, watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
On behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring with us.
Now I will raise the safety bar, and a ghost will follow you home.
Some imagination, huh?